Greetings and welcome to another episode of the School of Life. Today, I would like to talk about adoption. I'd like to begin with a story. This is the story of my first blood relative. It was about 4:20 in the afternoon on June 1st, 1993, when my son's head started crowning, and within minutes, he was in my hands and up to my heart on my bare chest. I delivered him at home with no lights, no electricity, on my bed, in my hands. I basically did all the receiving part of the process because of being a fire captain and EMT. Part of my emergency medical technician training was to be able to deliver a baby with no matter whatever difficulties may or may not arise. The only difficulty that arose in childbirth was that his cord was wrapped around his neck. So I was able to carefully take my fingers and flip the cord from around his neck so that he delivered normally into my hands. He was a little bit jaundiced, so I took him outside to get him some sunlight. Natural vitamin D is the cure for jaundice. And he just was perfectly healthy. Everything was great about him. And again, like I say, this was my introduction to my very first blood relative. With respects to that, I'd like to talk about being adopted. Now, I found out from the earliest age that I can even remember that I was adopted. It was an open discussion within our family. It turned out that my parents adopted me when I was 3 weeks old because they were unable to conceive of their own, and they wanted to raise a child in this world, and they thought what a great way to do this is to take a child who needs parents and become those parents. So 3 weeks after I was born, my parents adopted me, and forever afterwards, each year 3 weeks after my birthday, we celebrate what's called my chosen day, and that honors the day that I came into the family. I also have a sister who was adopted 3 weeks after she was born. She's a year and a half younger than I am, and so we have a celebration for her chosen day as well, 3 weeks after her birthday. When I was younger, oftentimes people would tease me for being adopted. They would say that my original parents, my birth parents, didn't want me and they were basically getting rid of me. And that's one way of looking at it, and I suppose people do look at it that way. But for me, I looked at it as a really great opportunity. It really meant that somebody who really loves me went to a huge amount of effort to go through the paperwork, go through the background checks, and potentially pay a significant amount of money to adopt me. That was an intentional act. That wasn't just some accident that happened. So if you choose to look at it by virtue of the fact that you may have been an accident and a burden to your birth parents, that's a choice. The choice I make is that I choose to think of it as I was chosen by this other family. Something may have happened to my birth family that caused them to not be able to take care of a child. I did eventually go and meet my birth mother when I was 30 years old. She had been looking for me since I was 18, and I had been looking for her since I was 18. We both used the same search agencies, 1-800-US Search and a variety of others, and looked at our time frames and looked like we had both been using the same ones at the same time. To this day, they have never put us together, and unfortunately, my birth mother has passed now. But at least I got 17 years of time getting to know her, getting to learn things about myself that I really wanted to know, including my heritage and also anything that I may have to look forward to as far as genetic defects or benefits, and of course what people in my birth family die from, which is very important, especially when you put a child on the planet. It's good to know what you're dealing with so that you can know how to better take care of yourself. Meeting my birth mother was a really great thing. It's very enlightening to me. I got to ask the questions about why she put me up for adoption, and significant portion of that was her age. She was very, very young. She was 17 when I was born, so she was obviously unable to care for me, and of course her family, being very religious, felt that an unwed mother shouldn't have a child and shouldn't raise a child in this world, so they insisted that she put me up for adoption. Through my birth mother, I gained two brothers who are biological. She married a different man, and with him she had these two brothers, so they're my half brothers. They also adopted 5 other brothers, and over the many years, she had many foster children as well. She revealed to me that she had a huge hole in her heart, and that's why she was adopting all these children, because she felt very bad for what may have become of me during this time. Was I being bounced from one foster home to the next? Did I get adopted by a family that was mistreating me or abusing me or didn't respect me properly? She was very concerned about what had happened to me over all those years. So for me to find her during that time of our lives was really a big relief for her to know that I was loved, that I was cared for, and that I was nurtured and brought up in a way that was fairly compatible with what her desires for me were. I did have the benefit of growing up on the West Coast, and she had raised her children on the East Coast. There was a big difference in political views, the actual nature that's around me, and a variety of other things, the way I was brought up, that maybe caused a difference between the nature and the nurture aspect. People are always talking about what's the nature part of you and what's the nurture part of you. The nature part of me is my biology. I come from an English background, an Irish background, and a German background. Through my birth parents, I found that information out. And the nurture part of me is the part of me that grew up here in California and has a different mindset and a different body composition, not because of my nature, because my nature would have me be a certain way, and my nurture because I've chosen a different lifestyle for myself, absent growing up in my birth family, and that has caused me to be slightly different than my brothers and my birth mother. And all of it is a part of who I am. Every single bit of it is a part of who I am. I feel very blessed that I have these brothers and I have an ongoing relationship with them, and we learn a lot from each other and a lot about our mother, which is really wonderful. And they can still continue to answer questions for me based on having grown up with my birth mom. I'm very thankful that I was adopted, and I'm very thankful that I was able to meet my birth family. Both of these have enriched my life in ways that are unusual and unique and a blessing to me. I have so many people that love me from so many different parts of my life, and I have continued to, throughout my life, create an even larger family with my community and the people that are outside of that I've experienced over the course of my life. Everybody who I have encountered in my life has taken me in as a part of their family, considers me to be a brother or a son or now a father, and now I feel like I'm able to put this energy back into the universe by telling my story of being adopted. I hope this video was valuable to you. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave any comments below. Your likes and your comments are always greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the holidays with your family. Bless.